Why I can't see it? I can't see it.
Okay, give me a second. I mean, it should be live on everything. I got it.
Okay, I'll just say because I don't see it.
You gotta go to YouTube and see if it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't see it. I'm on Facebook. I don't see. Oh, I see it. There it is. Yeah. Cool.
Aretha Simon. Aretha Simons. Aretha Simons, a native of Arcadia, Florida, enlisted in the U.S. Navy in 1988 as an information technician specialist and served during Operation Desert Storm and Operation Iraqi Freedom after the 9/11 attacks. During her time in the service, Aretha multiplied her talents by obtaining a culinary arts degree from Johnson & Wales University and later became a chef instructor. Aretha realized there were people who could never afford to attend culinary school, so she completed her own nonprofit 501c3 application and started her first nonprofit called Able Community Kitchen School, where she taught culinary arts to men and women in underserved communities and used the food prepared by the students to fight against hunger. In the year 2000, Aretha was given an all-expense paid trip courtesy of media mogul Oprah Winfrey to speak on the U.S. Senate floor concerning funding for nonprofit organizations. After that trip, Aretha's passion to help others learn about the millions of dollars in grants that were available and the demand for information was so great that Aretha formed her own company, Multiplying Talents. As a professional grant writer and grant reviewer, her clients were awarded government, state, and local grants reaching over $12 million. In the year 2004, she became a national speaker, conducting nonprofit and grant writing workshops for thousands of people across the nation. Some of her clients include SCORE, Disney National Entrepreneur Center, Bishop T.D. Jakes International Pastors and Leaders, the U.S. Department of Labor, University of Phoenix, in addition to several other colleges and universities. In 2019, Aretha became Orlando, Florida's first African-American female to qualify to be on the ballot as a mayoral candidate. Aretha takes a bold approach to everything she believes in and continues to have a 100% success rate of obtaining the 501c3 status and is one of the most sought-after experts for setting up nonprofit corporations and grant writing. Her company continues to offer nonprofit 501c3 preparation, grant writing, workshops, and one-on-one coaching. Aretha holds a Bachelor's of Theology from Life Christian University and Seminary, a Bachelor of Business Management from University of Phoenix, and a Master of Education from Nova Southeastern University. She is the author of 4 books, including The Best Guide for Nonprofit Corporations and Grant Writing Tools, and the founder of grantwritingschool.org. Throughout her journey, her passion has always been serving and helping others multiply their talents. She can be reached on her website at www.arethasimons.com.
Yes, Happy New Year, everybody. I'll wait for my music. Hey, that's it. There you go. I love it. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. Happy New Year, everybody. And I want to start off right. I wanted to start off today helping you multiply your talent and not your problem. So tonight we are going to talk about something that I'm getting lots of questions about, and that is, I say it's $1 million question, because when you don't have your 501c3, can you get that $1 million grant? I'm just saying. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to be talking to two different people tonight. I'm going to talk about people who have a nonprofit or who are thinking about starting a nonprofit. And then I'm going to talk about the church. Yes, we're going to talk about the church. Thank you for that intro music, Jermaine. I appreciate that. Listen, let me know where you're streaming in from. Shout out your city. We want to know where you're streaming in from. Let me know here in the chat. Happy New Year, Jennifer. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know where you are streaming in from. All my Florida people, I want to hear from you. Happy New Year, Laquita. Awesome. Let me know where you're streaming. Laquita's in Tennessee. Awesome. Jennifer's in Florida. Let me know where you are streaming in from. Glad you guys are here. Listen, I'm going to get right into it because I have a call in the next hour, which I'm excited about, and it is the grant manifestation call. You need to be on that call. I'm going to put the graphic up in a few minutes, but you can look at the, oh, thank you. See, he's right on it. That is the link to join. You can also scan that QR code. If you want to be live on Zoom, you can join us on Zoom, or you can join on the conference call. Either way, you're going to get the information. Everybody's asking about grant. I get a lot of calls. How can I get a grant? Do I qualify for a grant? So all of that information we're going to talk about on the grant writing call, on the grant manifestation call. I'm going to change that because, and let me give credit for Lashika. Lashika told me, you should call it manifestation because, you know, everybody's doing the prayer call, and I'm going to be on some of your calls. Everybody's doing the prayer call, you know, this year as we kick in, and we need that. But I said, hey, I want to do something like that because the word grant is mentioned over 50 times in the Bible. Yes, grant is mentioned over 50 times in the Bible. And Laquita, I'm getting Laquita and Lashika, y'all. You know, I get y'all name interchangeably. But Lashika's like, hey, I would be more inclined to join it if it was manifestation because not everybody's into the church. Let's just face it, y'all. So we changed it to manifestation call because we're going to help you manifest those things you're looking for. I see a lot of my certified nonprofit consultants jumping on here. So after this webinar or this Zoom or this whatever channel you want, YouTube, whatever, wherever you're streaming from, LinkedIn, we got them all on here. You guys put your flyers there because I'm not just here to multiply my talents. I help other people multiply their talents. So those certified nonprofit consultants have trained under me years ago, some in 2014, some way in 2006. Go ahead and put your graphic in the comment section so they can contact you. People in Chicago, Tennessee, Texas, all over, Florida for sure. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys put that in the chat. I want to get into this though, but before I do that, I want to make one quick announcement. Would you put on the screen the graphic for the spin the wheel? Because we're going to do this every Monday. We're going to start in the grant manifestation call, but every Monday we're going to do something called spin the wheel. I want to keep that up there because I want to show you or talk to you about some of the prizes that you have a chance to win. You have an opportunity to win 2 books, The Abundant Nonprofit, The Grant Writing School. You have an opportunity to spend 1 hour with me so that you can find grants. Yes, because a lot of people say, I want a grant, but I don't know where to look. So you have an opportunity to spend 1 hour with me. You also have an opportunity to get half off your 501c3. Yeah, if you need a 501c3 and you don't have it yet, you have an opportunity to win half off your 501c3. You also have an opportunity to have a 30-minute consultation with me or a 1-hour consultation with me. And then you also have an opportunity to win your money back by winning $50. So if you go to my website, arethasimons.com, you can see how you can enter that and spin the wheel. And I'll be looking forward to doing that with you guys on Monday, next Monday, or either here live on the 15th. We're going to do this twice a month, or on the grant manifestation call, which is going to be every Monday. So I want to get right into it. So how many of you already have your nonprofit? You you've started it or you have your 501c3, but you have not applied for these grants. I'm not sure if that's you, but if that's you, I'm talking to you because I don't know if you understand the power of the 501c3. And again, we're talking about the 501c3 tonight, but as you saw in my bio, we can talk about a whole bunch of stuff. I wear multiple hats. That's why I'm here, to help you multiply your talents and not your problems. But the 501c3, I'm not going to tell you that it is the secret sauce for getting your grants, because you got to put in some action. You got to put in the work. And if there's no action, there'll be no results. I think Gandhi said that. So it's important to learn how to do that. And I want to teach you how to do that in the grant manifestation call. So make sure you join us right after this call. So the people who are starting your nonprofit, a lot of people go ahead and get that EIN, you go ahead and incorporate on the state, and then you do nothing. So make sure that you have not just sat on those EINs and sat on the articles and never gotten a 501c3, because you're wasting your time when you get ready to apply for the 501c3. What the IRS is doing, if you have waited 27 months to apply from the time you incorporated, they're going to approve you because they're going to take your money, and then they're going to say, wait a minute, you've been in existence because you incorporated. Yeah, or you had your EIN, because when you get your EIN, whether it's for a for-profit or a nonprofit, what you are telling the IRS is that, hey, I'm in business. Hey, look at me, I'm in business. That's what you're saying. You're saying I'm in business because that's what the EIN is for. It's a social security number, if you will, to a business. So make sure you go ahead and apply for that 501c3 right away. Then if you wait for to apply for the 501c3, what's going to happen? They're going to approve it, and then they're going to revoke you. So if you have had your 501c3 revoked, make sure you reach out to myself or one of my consultants who are going to put their contact information in the comment section later on. And then I want to talk about the church. I know that we're in a time and a lot of churches have changed. A lot of you are screaming. A lot of people sat in their bed last night watching you on your midnight watch service last night, because a lot of people are not going to church. But there's still things that the churches have to do, like serve the community. And I'm telling churches, you don't necessarily need the 501c3 for your church. Now, if you want it, then apply for it. I would like to go to a church that has a 501c3 because I'm a big giver. And if I give, I want to be able to know that I can write it on my taxes. So that's why I would like for my church to have the 501c3. But the IRS says, I'm going to tell you what they said about that in just a moment. I'm going to show you on the screen what they're saying about that, because I get a lot of calls and pastors are back and forth. I heard we don't need the 501c3. Well, it depends on your state. So it's important to know what your state says and then what the IRS says. And then who are your donors? That's $1 million question. Who are your donors? Are you just going to wait until you meet somebody of influence to try to get the 501c3 when you have missed the opportunity? I want to show you a little video of this pastor, what he said about his 501c3 status. So we're going to show you this clip in just a moment. Watch this.
I got an attorney, and I dissolved our stinking 501c3 in this church because the government ain't gonna tell me what I can and what I can't say. So IRS, we don't need your stupid tax exempt status. You can put it in a bag and burn it in your front yard for all we care. I renounce 501c3 communism in this church.
Well, you said they can put it in their front yard. I don't know if the IRS has a front yard. Maybe he meant to say another F word, but we just gonna take what he said. And I'm not just picking on him. I'm saying this because a lot of churches feel that way, that they don't need the 501c3. But let me show you something. Look how big this church is. I'm gonna show you how big this church is. They have a lot of members. Look at that. That is huge. That is huge. So somebody in that church is probably giving a lot of money, right? A lot of money. And just think of the things that they have to do in the community, feeding the homeless and you know, or buying equipment or whatever they're doing. Why pay taxes on that? why pay taxes when you don't have to? So that is one of the benefits of having a 501c3. You don't have to pay taxes. So again, I'm not trying to say that you need to have it or you should have it. So you decide. But I'm going to tell you what the IRS says. I'm going to put this on the screen and tell you what the IRS says about churches who may or may not have the 501c. This is what the IRS says. I highlight this word generally. It says churches and religious organizations, like many other charitable organizations, qualify for exempt from federal income tax under IRS code, IRS section 501c3, and are generally eligible to receive tax deduction contributions. That word generally means sometimes, occasionally, you need to pay attention to what they're saying. And this is found in the IRS tax guide. I'm going to put something up on the screen as well, because it's important to know this. It says, for example, contributors to a church that has been recognized, how can you be recognized if you don't apply, as tax exempt would know their contributions generally are tax deductible. Now that's important. That information is found in the IRS tax guide for churches and religious organizations. You can go on their website, irs.gov, and just type in the website, type in the words tax guide, or you type in the word church, and that will pop up. So $1 million question is, do you need a 501c3? Again, I put the word $1 million because if somebody wanted to give you $1 million and you don't have it, then they can't write it from their taxes. So I want to see if there's some questions in the comment section. Welcome, Angie. Oh, yes. Look, and we need to know this information because things are shifting. And so again, I'm not trying to persuade you to get it or not get it. If you've incorporated as a nonprofit, then you might as well get it. So what's the point of incorporating as a nonprofit? And let me bring this up because this is real important. Some states, I will give you an example. Florida, churches do not have to apply for the 501c3 in order to rent a building or pay taxes on anything, because we have something called the Florida sales tax exemption form. But then there are other states where churches must file for the 501c3 in order to operate a building, in order to rent a facility. You must show that you have the 501c3. But some places say you don't, as long as you got your EIN and your articles, you're good. So that's the difference. That's why the IRS says generally you need to apply, or churches generally are exempt. Thank you, Daisy. I appreciate that. Listen, I want to shout out my certified nonprofit consultants who are on the call. Daisy in Georgia, Jennifer in Florida, Laquita in Tennessee. Shout out Florida. Hey, I love my Florida people. So I appreciate you guys being here. I want to make sure that you jump on the call. I'm doing a free hello, Dr. Boyd in Virginia. Welcome. Shout out to Virginia. Welcome to Audrey in South Florida. For those of you who are thinking about starting a nonprofit, I want to tell you that I'm doing a free webinar with GrantStation. I'm going to put the flyer on the screen, but you can also go to grantstation.com or go to my website and register. It is establishing a 501c3 for your church or ministry. It's a free webinar. And if you have not heard of GrantStation, you've probably been on a rock. If you're trying to look for a grant, that is where you need to go in order to get access to thousands of funders. It's $699 a year. Yes, it's $699 a year because they have built the database. They know what they're doing. You can get an extremely huge discount if you go to my website, grantwritingschool.org. You can get access to GrantStation for $99. Jean in North Carolina. Look, shout out to Jean. Listen, Jean is so amazing. And I definitely want to hear some of the testimonies of people who've gotten those grants last year. Jean got an $80,000 grant. She got a $50,000 grant. She got a $1,000 grant. And I don't know how old Jean is, but you're never too old to, get into this and apply for those grants. I'm so, so proud of you. I saw all the things you were sending me when you got approved for those grants. And guess what? She got approved because she had the 501c3. So again, that's $1 million question. You decide if you want to apply for the 501c3. But I tell you what, if you're going to do something in the community, and most people are doing it, I get people who are calling who just started out trying to make a difference in their community, and it just evolved into so much more that they had to set it up as a business. And I say that the nonprofits are a business. A lot of people say, oh, it's not a business, it's a charity. But you incorporate, you get the EIN, the IRS considers you a business. So again, you decide how you want to do this. So yes, Dr. Boyd, it is free. It's a free webinar at grantstation.org. And what I'm really going to be talking about, I know the title says establishing a 501c3. What I want churches to do is get a separate 501c3, because this is what you can use to do the most in a community. I know you've been hearing of the word for years, community development corporation, economic development corporation. I want you to have a separate 501c3. So if you never get one for your church, then that's totally fine for you as the pastor. But if you want to do more in your community, I highly recommend that you get a separate 501c3. So yeah, Daisy said it is a business. Yes, it is a business, and you must treat it that way, because if you don't, guess what? So many things can happen. I don't even want to get into that, because I'm not here to provide any legal advice. I'm gonna put this disclaimer on the screen. I'm not an attorney. I'm just a person who's been doing 501c3 since 1999. That's 26 years. I started doing it when they were having the paper forms. You had to write on it or type on it. Luckily, I had a typewriter, so my mom blessed me like that. But listen, I'm excited that you are here getting this information. I want to make sure that when you leave, I'm not going to be on these lives long. I'm just here to help you multiply your talents and not your problem. And then I'm going to get off, because we need to be on the real call after this at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the grant manifestation call. Make sure that you either call in, there's no code, the number is 518-318-5079, or go to the website and get the Zoom link, because we're going to do some amazing things this year. I'm tired of people saying, I was afraid, or I gave up. I talked to someone the other day and they're like, I just gave up. I just gave up. You are an amazing person, and you have so many gifts to give to the community. You have so many ideas. So why are you giving up? No. You're going to be like the one who buried their talent. Let me talk about myself, because I can get lazy sometimes. I'm not going to be lazy this year. That's why I'm pushing. I'm multiplying talents. I am multiplying talents this year. So you're either going to be in or you're going to be out. But I'm trying to multiply my talent. If I can get 12 people to be in this with me, I don't care if we barter, work together, or whatever, we can make a big impact this year. And we are. No, we are. That's what the manifestation call is about. We're not saying we can, we will. No, I am multiplying talents. So I want to make sure that you join us on this call. I want to thank Water Walkers in the background, always holding it down. I appreciate it. We're going to do this call live every other Monday. And it's going to be based on what you want to hear about. Because again, I wear multiple hats. If you saw the bio, I could talk about wedding cakes. I could talk about so many things. But this was the number one topic. I had the privilege of being the webinar producer for TechSoup. A shout out to TechSoup. And I did over 60 webinars in 2023. Over 16,000 nonprofits registered for those webinars. And some of the main questions is about grants. They want to know about grants. So you need to be on the grant manifestation call to learn the who, what, the why, and the things that you just don't know. Things that people may not even tell you, but I'm going to tell you because I ain't got nothing to hide. So I want you to be on the call. Make sure you join us on the call. I appreciate you guys being here tonight. And listen, I want to end with this. Go multiply your talents and not your problems. Y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.